Hello friends, welcome to Drishti IAS UPPCS Prelims Quick Revision course, and myself Abhishek Mishra, and I will be taking your polity segment in this quick revision course. The polity segment we will be covering in 4 to 6 classes. Now let me give you a brief idea about how we will be going about this course. So this will be a live online course that will be available to you through the Drishti Learning App, right. So let me give you some key features of this course, and in this course, which will be available to you in a live online format through the Drishti Learning App, the validity of the course will be for 1 year with unlimited view time. Now it will also include with it practice tests from Drishti UPPCS test series, and these tests will include GS tests as well as tests of CSAT. Also, in the Indian Polity section that I will be taking in this quick revision course, we will be focusing on the very important segments and areas which have been in news or which are even otherwise important, and from where we expect questions to be asked directly, right. So those will be our target areas in this course. Now this Indian Polity section I plan to cover in 4 to 6 classes depending upon how much topics we have to cover. Now in this we will be covering the important topics which will be based on the current orientation, that is, for example, the issue of governor having confrontation with the chief minister in various states. So that makes the topic of governor important, right. Similarly, the basic structure doctrine, that has been also in news. So that is also important from exam point of view. So we will be covering all such segments based on our trend analysis of previous year's questions as well, where we have analyzed that what kind of questions UPPCS is asking. So we are going to predict some topics based on their relevance and their being in news, and we will be covering that in these classes, right. So if we look at the 2022 question paper of UPPCS prelims, from the polity segment 16 questions were asked, and on an average we see that 15 to 20 questions we can expect from the Indian polity section, right. And in this course, as I have told you, we will be covering with based on what has been asked previously by UPPCS and also what has been in news and what is even otherwise important, right. So that will be our mode of operation in these classes. Now if you look at the UPPCS syllabus of polity, so what we find? We find that in the syllabus they have mentioned Indian polity and governance. So it will include the constitution, so important areas of the constitution, then the political system. So we will be also discussing about the parliament and how the government is functioning, right. The 3 organs of the government, which includes the legislature, the judiciary and the executive. Then Panchayati Raj, public policy, rights, issues, etc., right. So it is only an indicative syllabus, but we will be trying to cover it with more emphasis because it is a quick revision course. So we will be focusing only on the very important parts. It also says that in Indian polity, the questions will test the knowledge of the country's political system, including Panchayati Raj and community development, its broad features of economic policy in India and Indian culture, that will be taken up in the different segments, right. So after this, I also want to give you an idea what kind of questions were asked in last year's exam and how we can actually solve them. So let us see some of the questions asked last year. So this question was asked last year, and let me just read it out. So the question is, a joint public service commission for 2 or more states can be established by. The options are UPSC, Parliament if requested by concerned states, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, right. So we can see that a very direct question has been asked. So if you are clear that this power in our constitution has been given to Parliament, which on the request of 2 or more state governments, can establish a joint public service commission, right. So, the right answer is B, Parliament, if requested by the concerned states. Then this question on the basic structure doctrine, right. So, you can see that basic structure doctrine is even otherwise important, but in recent times if you have been following current affairs and newspapers, then you would be aware that the basic structure doctrine has been referred to as the North Star by the Chief Justice of India, right. The North Star or the pole star, and Chief Justice of India has said that the basic structure doctrine is like the North Star. That means it guides and then the Vice President of India, he also had something to say about the North Star, and he said that the North Star is actually the Parliament in a democracy, right. So, what I am trying to say here is that we need not get into the controversy that what actually is the North Star, but what we need to be concerned about is that basic structure doctrine. We should be knowing that in which case this doctrine was given, what it says, right, and how it can be asked in exam. This we will be covering in our quick revision course. Now, if we come back to this question, we see that the question asks us the concept of basic structure of the constitution was propounded by the Supreme Court in the case, and then 4 cases have been given. The first one is Keshwanand Bharati versus State of Kerala 1973, then Golaknath versus State of Punjab 1967, Chitralekha versus State of Mysore 1964, Yusuf versus State of Bombay 1954, right. And the correct answer here is again Keshwanand Bharati versus State of Kerala 1973. Option A is the correct answer. Very simple and direct question, right. So, if our preparation is good, we have covered the syllabus well, then such questions are very easy to do in the exam. Then let us come to question number 3, and here the format of the question is assertion reasoning. Okay. So, let us see this type of question. Here it says, given below are 2 statements, one is labeled as assertion and the other as reason, right. So, what is the assertion? So, assertion is the 73rd statement, sorry, the 73rd amendment of the constitution is considered to be a watershed. Watershed means a very important event in the history of local self government in India. So, we know that the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act gave constitutional status to the Panchayati Raj institutions, and it is a landmark event, right. So, assertion is definitely correct. Then a reason has been given. The reason says the 73rd Constitutional Amendment conferred the much coveted constitutional status on panchayats. So, this is the reason why this is true, right. So, while solving the assertion reasoning question, how we should go about it? So, the idea should be to read the reason and add a because and then read assertion. Let me show you how. So, we read it like this: the 73rd Constitution Amendment conferred the much coveted constitutional status on panchayats because the 73rd Amendment of the Constitution is considered to be a watershed in the history of local self government in India, right. The reason is, or here what we need to see, that is this the reason for this. So, are these connected? So, definitely the first thing is saying that 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act is very important. It is very important. Now, the question is, why is it important? Is R explaining it? So, R is saying that this is important because constitutional status was given, right. So, I think we can see here that a link is made. A is saying that this is important and R is giving us the reason why it is important, right. So, a organic link is there. That is why both A and R are true individually, and R is also explaining A. So, let us see the options. A says A is false, but R is true. B says A is true, but R is false. Both are incorrect. Both A and R are true. This is correct till this point, but R is not the correct explanation of A, which is incorrect. So, the right answer is D, because it says both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay. So, R is actually explaining or giving us the reason why A is correct. A is saying 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act is important and R is giving us the reason why it is important. So, both are organically linked, and that is why we will go with option D. Right. Now, let us see the next question. The next question is of a factual type. It is giving us a list of political parties and we have to arrange them in chronological order, that is which political party was formed before. Okay. And the options are Bahujan Samaj Party, Samajwadi Party, Telugu Desam Party, All India Trinamool Congress. The question says consider the following political parties and arrange them in the chronological order of their establishment. That means we have to arrange them in the order in which they have been created or established. Now, here if you are aware of the post independence consolidation part of the UPSC or UPPCS syllabus, then it becomes little bit easier, but you have to apply some logic also. See, out of all these political parties, if you have been following the political developments, then you would realize that All India Trinamool Congress is active in basically West Bengal and some other states also. Telugu Desam Party in Andhra Pradesh, Samajwadi Party in UP and some other states also, and Bahujan Samaj Party chiefly in UP and other states as well, right. Now, out of these political parties, Telugu Desam Party has the longest history. It was established in 1982. After this, we have the Bahujan Samaj Party, which was established by the efforts of Mr. Kashiram, and this was established in 1984. After that, we have the Samajwadi Party, which was established in 1992, and then the latest among these is the All India Trinamool Congress of Mamata Banerjee, and this was established in 1998. So, this is the factual question. You can employ some guessing in this, but the fact remains that you should be aware about some of these stuff, then only you can get the right answer. Okay. So, here Telugu Desam Party is the oldest. So, we can immediately say that A and C are correct and B and D can be eliminated. After this, we know that after the Telugu Desam we have Bahujan Samaj Party. So, it should be 1. So, we can eliminate C also. The right answer is A. Okay. So, elimination also needs to be used while solving this MCQs, right. So, this was about the political parties. Let us see the next one. The next question is about the audit report of CAG, right. And it says the audit report of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India CAG is examined by, then it gives us 4 committees: Public Accounts Committee, Public Undertaking Committee, the Estimates Committee, and D is none of the above, right. So, in polity we know that CAG has been regarded as the friend, philosopher and guide of Public Accounts Committee, right. So, if you are aware of this fact that CAG is regarded as the friend, philosopher and guide, of Public Accounts Committee PAC, then we can clearly see that the right answer here has to be Public Accounts Committee. It works in close coordination with CAG, the PAC. right. So, the right answer in this case would be the Public Accounts Committee. Now, this discussion of these 5 questions was just to give you an idea that what all is important, how UPPCS is asking us questions from the polity section in the exam, right. And if you are following current affairs and also aware of polity related developments, then we can see that topics like the basic structure, then we can say the collegium system, right, the position of governor and the governor getting into tussle with state governments, right, the controversy related to the address of the governor in various states. So, all of these have been in news and they become very important from exam point of view. Okay. So, we will be covering these kind of political developments and which can be asked in the exam. Another type of question that UPPCS frequently asks is if there is some appointment to important political positions, right. So, last year for example, the vice president election was held. So, these also become important. The election of the president of India was also held. So, this also becomes important, right, the process of election as well as the person who has been appointed. Similarly, sometimes a matching question has also been asked about the speakers and the various states, right. So, we should be aware about the latest political developments and also important appointments made to various positions, right. So, that also we should be seeing. And finally, what we need to do in solving MCQs, right, especially from the polity section, is that we need to be aware the multiple revisions that we do, that will help us in picking out the right answer. Because see, in MCQs the best part is that the answer is in front of us, we only need to recognize it. It is easier than recollecting all the information that is required at the main stage. Okay. So, only thing is we need to be focused, we need to be well prepared, we need to do our revision very well, and then solving this questions in the exam will not be difficult. The aim of the Drishti Prelims or UPPCS Prelims Quick Revision course is to prepare you for success in this exam. And in this section, polity section, my assurance is that if you do it well, then you will be able to solve 90% of the questions directly. Okay. So, with this I would like to close this session and I will see you in the classroom. Thank you.